Philadelphia, July 4th, 2026. Independence Day in America, and in a city built on the idea that the impossible can happen, 68,324 fans packed into a stadium baking under 38-degree heat were about to watch a football match that nobody quite expected to feel this way. France were here, the most feared team at this tournament. The team that had scored 11 goals in 4 games, that had looked at times like they were simply playing a different sport to everyone else. In 5 consecutive World Cup matches, they had scored 3 or more goals each time, a record in the entire history of the competition. Nobody had ever done that before. Not Brazil, not Germany, not Argentina. And across the pitch from them stood Paraguay, ranked 41st in the world, a team most casual fans had quietly written off before the tournament even started, a team that had no business still being
here. Except they had just beaten Germany. Let that land for a second. Paraguay had walked into a World Cup knockout match against one of the greatest football nations in history, 4-time world champions, a squad worth over €1 billion on the transfer market, and beaten them on penalties. Julio Enciso's goal against the Germans was the first goal Paraguay had ever scored in a direct World Cup elimination round. In the entire history of their participation in this tournament, they had never done it before. Their coach, Gustavo Alfaro, described it perfectly before this match. He said facing France was like standing in an open field during a lightning storm. You know the lightning is coming. You cannot go behind a tree because the tree will also be struck. You just have to find a way to protect yourself. So, that is exactly what Paraguay did. But before we talk about what happened on that pitch, we need to talk about the other story running through this match. The one that made this more than just a round of 16 game. We need to talk about Kylian Mbappe and the record that belongs to Lionel Messi and the distance between them.
Messi has scored 20 World Cup goals in his career. 20. Across 5 tournaments, from a teenager in Germany in 2006 to a world champion lifting the trophy in Qatar in 2022. 20 goals. More than any player in the history of the game. More than Ronaldo, more than Pele, more than Maradona. Mbappe came into this match with 18. 2 behind the greatest total ever recorded.
And France still had games left to play. At 27 years old, Kylian Mbappe was not just playing in a World Cup. He was running down history in real time. Now, back to Philadelphia and back to Paraguay, who had absolutely no interest in letting any of this happen. Paraguay set up with a back 5, 10 men behind the ball, clogging every single passing lane France tried to open. In the first 20 minutes of a match France were expected to win comfortably, they did not register a single shot on target. It was only the 4th time that had happened to France in a World Cup match since 1966. Mbappe was getting frustrated. You could see it building. A shove here, a stare there, a physical confrontation with Paraguay's Andres Cubas that reminded everyone watching how much he hates not being able to express himself. France had 85% of the ball and practically nothing
to show for it. Orlando Gill, Paraguay's goalkeeper, a man whose name most football fans did not know before this tournament, was having the afternoon of his life. He tipped one effort over the bar
He came and claimed crosses that France desperately hoped would cause chaos. Paraguay's passing accuracy across the entire match was 54%. The lowest recorded by any team in a
World Cup knockout match since records began in 1966. They were not here to play football. They were here to survive. And for 68 minutes, they did. Then came the 69th minute. Desire Doué, substitute, fresh legs, only minutes on the pitch, received the ball in the penalty area. Paraguay's Diego Gomez came sliding in. There was contact. The referee looked. He waved play on. The stadium exhaled. Then the voice came through the earpiece.
The referee walked slowly to the pitchside monitor. He watched the footage. He turned around. He pointed to the spot. Penalty to France. And in that moment, with the heat pressing down on 68,000 people, with Messi's record sitting 2 goals away, with a country's dream and another country's history, both resting on the next 30 seconds, there was never any question about who was going to pick up that ball. Mbappe placed it on the spot. He took a few steps back. Orlando Gill crouched on his line, rocking slightly from foot to foot, trying to read the most dangerous penalty taker in the world. The stadium went quiet. He ran up. He sent Gill the wrong way. Bottom right corner. Net. 7 goals at this World Cup. 19 World Cup goals in 19 appearances. Now level with Lionel Messi as the tournament's joint top scorer, and standing just 1 goal behind Messi's all-time World Cup record of 20. 1 goal. But then, there was the other number. The one that tells you something even deeper about who Mbappe has become in these tournaments again. 11. 11 goals in World Cup knockout matches. At least 3 more than any other player in the history of the competition. More than Brazil have scored in knockout matches. More than England. In the matches where everything is on the line and there is no tomorrow. Nobody in the history of football has done what Kylian Mbappe does. France held on. Paraguay found one final shot on target, their only one in the entire match, in the 90th minute. It wasn't enough. Gill saved twice more from Mbappe in stoppage time. Extraordinary reflexes. A goalkeeper playing out of his skin for a team already beaten. Doing it anyway, because that is what football asks of you sometimes. The final whistle blew. France 1, Paraguay 0. And Mbappe walked off the pitch in Philadelphia with 19 World Cup goals. Messi, somewhere on the other side of the bracket, has 20. 1 goal, 1 record. And if France keep winning, which they fully intend to do, the most famous individual record in World Cup history could fall before this tournament is even finished. People talk about Mbappe like he is still becoming what he will be. Like the best is still ahead. And maybe it is. But look at those numbers again. 19 goals in 19 World Cup appearances.
11 goals in knockout matches, more than anyone in history. 7 goals in this tournament alone.
Lionel Messi is 38 years old. He has spent a lifetime building a record that felt untouchable. Kylian Mbappe is 27. He has one World Cup left in this tournament to reach it. The race is on. And it is the most interesting race in football.